Good morning and welcome to Hammarby Sjöstad 2.0. I've been living in Hammarby Sjöstad for 10 years. It's a new city district in Stockholm, and I started the Electricity, a citizen initiative, to take Hammarby Sjöstad to the next level of innovation for sustainable development, Hammarby Sjöstad 2.0. And basically, we are taking the Paris Global Climate Deal down to our city district. And we are aiming to reach the goal not by 2050, not by 2040, but by 2030. 2030. Someone has to be in front to take the lead, and this is the role of Hammarby Sjöstad. We welcome competition on that. So, what is Hammarby Sjöstad 1.0 and 2.0? So 1.0 is a city project starting in the middle of the 90s. It was a top-down process to build a new city district. And City of Stockholm worked together with real estate developers to do this. And there was a new horizontal planning process, eco-governance, which is necessary to build sustainable cities. I will come back to that. Hammarby Sjöstad 2.0 is a citizens project, citizen-driven bottom-up project to renew a new city. Residents, housing associations, businesses, academia, all are on board in this platform. And we are testing a new process, innovation governance. So here is 1.0 from 1996 to 2016. It was the picture to the left, a rundown industrial area, really brownfield. And then Stockholm tried to get the Olympic Games 2004, and the plan was to have the stadium and the Olympic Village on the place where Hammarby Sjöstad was built. Now, happily, Athens took the games, and we could build a new city, and you have the picture to the right. And that led to that Stockholm became the first green capital in Europe in 2010. And The Economist has branded this one of the world's highest profile examples of sustainable city development. We are pleased to read that, but we understand that there is much more to do. So this is the backbone of Hammarby Sjöstad 1.0. It's the management of waste, a recycling of waste to energy. It's a vacuum-based system, underground, clean, reliable, no landfill. So everything goes down underground, and it goes to the to produce gas or district heating. Serves as a demo city for city development in China, UK, Norway, Dubai, for example. And here are two other examples, the energy system and the transport system. The aim from the beginning was that there should be bring energy use down below 100 kilowatt per square meter and year. We haven't reached that. As you can see to the right, there are some peaks, and we are working now to get that down. I will come back to that. On transport, the goal was 80%. 80% of commuting between home and workplace should go either by public transport, bicycling, or walking. That is reached. We have a lot of cars, but we are not using them for commuting. So, still under construction, new state-of-the-art buildings as regards energy and climate standards. To the left is a new area, now almost finished. In the middle, under construction, a new office area, and then to the right, a new residential area. Today, we are 20,000 people living here. In 10, 15 years, almost 30,000. Now, all visitors from abroad, not least from China. China are building Hammarby cities, and they are learning very much from that. And they have one question: what is the secret behind the success? And they think it's technology. We say, no, it's not technology. It's other things. Policy, a high ambition from the beginning, the policy declaration from the mayor of Stockholm. I would like to see a city that is twice as good as anything built before. That was the key to do this. Second, the planning, a new concept for city development called eco-governance. Instead of splitting up land to each developer, you force the developer to sit around the table together with the city authorities and plan it so that you have an agreed sustainability plan for the city. Not until that is done, you are allowed to start splitting land and to build on it. So that is the key to it. And we tell the Chinese visitors, if there's anything you should remember from this visit, it's the word eco-governance. Without that, you don't do it. With that, you can get a lot of things done. And then management, a new resource management system. So to reduce, reuse, and recycle energy, water, and waste. It's called the Hammarby model. It's well known and used internationally. Now, to Hammarby Sjöstad 2.0. So that's the next 10 years. It's not only sustainable solutions, but smart. So smart and sustainable solutions. And there are the two main drivers for this, for the next 10, 20 years, is electrification and digitalization. And we are working on 3 fields, as test beds, urban living labs, and as export platform. And I will give you some examples from that. Start with the overall concept, to take the Paris goals down to Hammarby Sjöstad and to take the lead in showing how to do it. So we are translating the Paris Climate Deal for 2050 to the City of Stockholm goal, which is 2040. It is about the built city and about transport system, not the rest, so it's more limited. But that is what we are aiming at to do in 2030. If Stockholm is going to do that by 2040, some districts have to be front runner, and we are pleased to be there. So, and we're working in the framework of Agenda 2030. So this is one example, test bed for electric cars, charge at home. There are charging stations in the city, in the streets, but that is not the key. The key is that you need to be able to charge your car in the garage at home during nighttime. Everything is available for a quick transformation of our fleets into electric cars. The cars are available, energy is available, charge equipment is available. But there's one simple thing missing. The charge equipment is not on the wall in front of my car. And as long as there's nothing in that wall for me, I'm reluctant to change to electric car. But as soon as it's there, I start to think about when and what sort of car. And you take the picture to the left down there. This is how it looks in our garage. This is where I have my car, and I'm now discussing with my wife what sort of car are we going to buy instead. Energy Minister looking at it. But the map in the middle is, you see the blue marks, that's the housing associations that are already engaged in this and installing it. So we have more than 300 parking places now equipped. There will be 500 by the end of the year, and there will be 1,000 by 2020. And that we have reached the critical point of 20%. So this is a new initiative together with Hertz, Sunfleet, and Renault. That's about carpool at home, electric carpool at home. So instead of finding a car on the street, we have a lot of carpools in our city district. But this is to bring it into the garage. So I take the elevator down, I found the car, I share that with 2 or 3 other families. And that will reduce cost for using the car, and will speed up the introduction of electric cars. Here's another. We have a coordinated procurement of transport for recycling and other real estate services. So we go together. We have about 50 housing associations working together, and we are doing this procurement, and we can save money, and we also set the condition that you have to use electric cars instead of traditional cars. So these big cars to the right, they will be replaced by new ones, and we know now that both Scania and Volvo are on the market with it, and we are trying to get that in. So CO2-free transport as a condition. We are working with Taxi Stockholm, and you know that there is a zero zone taxi, that when you register on zero zone and you phone for a taxi, the call goes out to the electric cars first. And that gives an advantage to those taxi drivers with electric car. And we are supporting that so that they can reach the goal 2025, all taxi cars will be electric. We test bed for e-bike city, and we are working with housing associations to introduce electric bicycles to go from cars and from public transport into something that is a healthier lifestyle and sustainable transport. We are working with leading companies in Sweden, including Vattenfall, on Bus Plan Stockholm, so a test bed for electrification of inner city buses. We started with a demo line, and we are now pushing for a complete change from traditional buses into electric buses. And we have Volvo, Scania, Vattenfall, ABB, Siemens, Ericsson, and others on board on this. The Stockholm region is a bit slow on this, but we hope that we'll take a decision next year. Now, we are also working on transport. It was about charging at home. Now, this is about the use of energy in our buildings. So we call it energy at home. And we have about 40 housing associations involved in climate action in Hammarby, Sjöstad. And we do eco-drive, which is going through the whole building together with an expert to find out where the weaknesses are and how we can improve it, to reduce, reuse, and renewables. And that is to reach the energy target and to bring down the high use of energy in some of the buildings. Here is a new initiative, linking, storing, charging, a test bed for integration of energy and transport systems. We are linking solar energy to our buildings. We are storing them in batteries in the cars. In this way, reducing effect peaks in the morning, afternoon, and we are charging electric cars during nighttime when it's cheap to do it. So this project is starting now. This autumn it will be KTH research project and a practical demo project in Hammarby, Sjöstad. We are working as a test bed for Internet of Things and 5G, and we have some new initiatives. One is about a project to installing large-scale networks of water sensors to prevent water damages in cooperation with an insurance company. This is the biggest cost for insurance companies in housing. So rebuild the whole kitchen when you have damage, and this is a way to have a zero tolerance on that. We are part of a national research project on sharing, Stockholm, Gothenburg, Malmö, and Umeå. We are working on that for 3 years. It's mainly to develop the digital platforms for sharing companies. And here's what I talked about before. We are going to introduce higher levels of digital systems in the recycling system together with EMAC. And here's another system on the energy system of tomorrow. And this is a KTH, a European project. And the question is, how will the energy system change when we start to produce more energy of our own? And Hammarby Sjöstad is one test bed. It's in Geneva and Vevey in Switzerland, the other two. So we are serving as an urban living there. Finally, a couple of pictures on how we serve as a business and export platform. There's a lot of global interest in Hammarby Sjöstad. And you see the picture in the middle, which is the Chinese president. When he was vice president, he came to Hammarby Sjöstad, and he has talked to his countrymen that you have to go to Europe and you have to go to Hammarby Sjöstad to see how they are building. And the report to the right is a China Development Bank report on, they took 2 examples, one from the United States, one from Europe, and this is European example. And there's a textbook of 150 pages on how to build cities, and they are using that frequently in China. So here are our members, leading Swedish companies in different areas, and also Nissan, Renault, DEFA, and other from abroad. And plus 44 innovative enterprises in our matchmaking project, clean tech companies with the new technologies part of it. Last picture, this is a ferry boat from Hammarby Sjöstad to the south of Stockholm. This is still fossil fuel driven, it will be electrified. So this is what we do, and this is what we aim at. So by 2030, we should have the lead and showing the way how to go clean and climate clean. Thank you very much.